Okay, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful psychological tool, one that can totally change how you handle those, really difficult conversations. And the best part? It's something you already have, but you might be using it completely backwards.
So just think about it for a second. Someone says something to you, something kind of nasty, totally designed to get a reaction. What's that first instinct? Is it to fire back, to defend yourself, or do you ever just wait?
And yeah, that's what most of us think, right? If you don't have a comeback, you've kind of lost. You're just letting them win. But what if all of that is just wrong? What if silence isn't weak at all?
So let's actually break that down. Why do we feel that pressure to respond immediately? Well, since we were kids, we're taught that arguments are like these fast-paced verbal tennis matches, and staying silent, that feels like you just dropped the ball, like you failed to hit it back. But that's just the myth.
See, this is where we get it all wrong. We connect silence with everything on the left side of this chart. Weakness, fear, basically losing. But the reality is, when you choose silence, you're not being passive. No way. It's an active, strategic move. It takes you from just reacting to being a strategist. It turns what feels like weakness into a moment of pure control and, power.
So how does this actually work in your head? Like, what is physically happening in your brain during that pause? It all comes down to a really important shift. A shift from pure emotion to actual logic.
When you have that instant reaction, you're not really thinking. You're just feeling. That flash of anger, that snarky comeback you fire off without a thought, that's your emotional brain. The old, ancient part just completely taking over. It's a survival instinct, but let's be honest, in a conversation, it is almost never the smart move.
And this right here, this is like a mental circuit breaker. Okay, so step one, that's instinct. The insult hits and your emotional brain just floods with that fight or flight energy. But step two, the pause, oh man, that is everything. That is a conscious choice to not let your instincts drive the bus. And that one little moment of quiet is all you need for step three. Your logical brain, your thinking brain finally comes online, looks at the situation, and takes control back from that raw emotion. It's so simple, but it is incredibly powerful.
And that internal shift, it creates real, actual power in the conversation. This isn't just some mind game you're playing with yourself. It fundamentally changes the entire interaction. You are literally taking back the one thing they were trying to steal, control over your own emotions.
So let's just get this crystal clear. That moment of quiet is not a sign that you're scared. It's not you fumbling around trying to think of what to say.
No, it's a statement. It's you, consciously, refusing to play their little game. They lit a match expecting a huge explosion, but you are choosing not to be the gasoline. By staying in control of your own emotional state, you end up holding all the cards.
And this is where it gets really fun, because by controlling yourself, you actually seize control of the entire situation. You completely, 100%, flip the script on the other person.
I mean, think about what they want from you. They are baiting you. They expect you to react. They want you to get angry or defensive. They want to be the puppet master of your feelings. And by staying silent, you give them nothing. Absolutely none of it. You just shatter the whole pattern they were counting on.
And here's the beautiful psychological twist. Your calm suddenly becomes a giant mirror. Your lack of a big, messy reaction makes them incredibly aware of their own aggression. They came looking for a fight, but instead, they're just standing there, alone, under a spotlight, and it gets really, really uncomfortable for them. The pressure just slides right off of you and onto them.
So this forces us to totally redefine what winning an argument even looks like. Because, in a game that's designed from the start to make you lose your cool, maybe the only real winning move is to just not play.
So the next time you find yourself in one of these situations and you just stay quiet, it is so important to reframe what just happened. Don't look at it as a failure.
You didn't lose. You won. You won by refusing to hand over the keys to your own emotions. You won by setting the terms of engagement, which were, in this case, no engagement at all. You kept your composure. You held on to your power. You were the one in control. So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you're faced with that moment, that insult, that little poke designed to provoke you, what's it going to be? Are you going to give them the reaction they're desperately looking for? Or are you going to choose the surprising, incredible power of silence?